Hi, everyone, and welcome to Toolkit Tuesday. I know we're a bit late today, but our team was busy with a virtual event, but we wanted to make sure we stayed with our cadence of sharing information each week with our hospitality and event planner community. I wanted to start by saying it's been a very challenging time for our country and our community. It's heavy what's happening in the world, and I just want to make sure that our event planning community knows that we're with you, and that I want to be clear that proper planning stands with the Black community and working for change. And you know, it's difficult to continue to do business with all that is happening in our world, but we forge on. And I wanted to add a little levity today. Excuse the look. It's been a long day of a virtual event support, and I just wanted to get real and raw and share that, this is what it looks like to do a virtual event. No makeup and just a long, tiring day, but we're very encouraged. And again, I just wanted to share kind of our case study from today, and also some levity around things that we're seeing in the virtual event space that maybe can add a little laughter to your world. Our team has been up since early this morning. We've been working on, this is, I think, our 7th or 8th virtual event since March, and we're continuing to get better and learn the tools. And but there's so many lessons learned, and again, some funny stories. So today I want to keep it light and share what we're working on. We gathered nearly 500 stormwater professionals, and have been working with this platform that seems to deliver a great show. We had amazing turnout and higher than expected attendance, great engagement, great sessions. But I want to share you some of the fun things that that happened, and maybe you can relate and enjoy it. First of all, again, more people on than had before, and one of the things that they did was invite the student community. So anyone that was in stormwater or environmental business policies was able to join us today. So that was really cool. And also, we're seeing connections. They can happen. They really can. And every time we do a digital or virtual event, there's a moment when I'm encouraged about the connections that can happen in this digital space. And it does not replace live events, but we are continuing on to connect communities, share ideas, educate folks on a lot of things I didn't understand today. As I sat at 5 o'clock this morning on my particular sessions that I was preparing for, I realized why I don't sit at the tech table, but I did today. So as we were troubleshooting just getting ready for all of these things, it was high anxiety. Been doing this 30 years, and I don't typically get nervous before a live event. I kind of feel like there's not a lot you could throw my way as a curveball that I couldn't handle. And we have an amazing team. Our team today that produced this event were just incredible, and they are just up for whatever challenge comes their way. But there is that weird nerve of, if this gets off the track, I'm not sure I can pull it back on. I've only been speaking digital events language for a couple months now, but so there is that anxiety about that. I do think that's really great to realize that this content that we are producing is going to live on. It's going to have a great shelf life, and people can watch these sessions at their leisure. I know I participated in a digital event myself last week, and I was able to go back and watch the sessions when I had a minute to really digest the information. And so I think that, although we may have recorded live streams in the past, not sure they were really prevalent. And now it's just really cool to have it on my on demand, and for all of our clients as well, and all of the attendees. I do have to laugh. I'm going to share with you the team communication that's happening at this warp speed as we produce these events collectively, but virtually. So I'm going to share my screen here for a moment, because I feel like this is pretty funny how this all came about. It's really important to stay connected to your team as you're producing these, because some of these technical challenges that come up, it's the first time we've seen them. And so collectively we can answer problems and solve them. But again, let me bear with me as my tech. I want to make sure I'm able to get this to you so you can appreciate this communication that came in today. Okay, I promise it's going to be worth it. It's very funny. And I think, one of the things I love about our team is that we've always worked really hard, but we also continue to have a sense of humor, and it breaks the tension when things get crazy. And it really keeps us connected on a level. But here you go. This is this GIF is what was shared by our team members, and I really feel like this exemplifies what we're facing in this day and age. We're just trying to get the railroad ties off of the track, all while driving the train. So anyways, I thought that was pretty funny from our team. Again, you need to laugh. You need to let that tension out of your body, both with what's happening and just how we have this steep learning curve right now. So the other thing is, I was engaged with these speaker tech checks, and I have to say I am continually somewhat entertained by how these go. I had a speaker that joined me late last night to try to update. They had a very old computer, and they were trying to be able to participate in this digital event. And she was particularly, she wasn't tall, and so when she sat down at her desk, her home office, the computer was really high above her, and you could only see the top forehead. And it was, you're having to find a way to diplomatically say, do you have a stool or a bench? And I don't know if many of you from a live event probably have to secure a stool for a speaker in front of a podium. And I felt like that was the case last night. I was looking for something to elevate her so that we had a great view of her head. So that was a kind of funny thing. The other thing couple other things that happened today, we had a speaker, and this was a stormwater conference. We had a speaker on the session, and he had this enormous fish tank behind him, and it was so loud. It was like we had this water soundtrack in the back of his session from his huge fish tank. Another thing that was pretty funny is we had one of our speakers, and she logs on. She was the moderator today, and she logs on, and in her view in Zoom, she had what looked like crazy blue blood coming out of her eyes and her nose and her mouth and her ears. And when she logged on, she was like, what is happening? And I was like, I have no idea. What is this thing? And I was trying to, talk to the team and bring in tech support. I'd never seen anything that scary. And I said to her, do you have a filter on from Zoom? And she started laughing, and apparently her 8-year-old had put that filter on for his Zoom classroom. And here she was with this Halloween-looking experience. We got the biggest chuckle out of that. We fixed it right before we went live, but we definitely fixed it. There was another speaker that we were in a webinar mode, so there wasn't an audio interaction between the audience and the speaker. And a speaker made a joke, and there was a little, of course, silence. And he said, well, it's weird not hearing you laugh. So as the moderator, I unmuted myself and I chuckled and let him know I'm happy to provide the laugh track for your session today. I don't know if you find this humorous. Again, I don't have your laugh track, so I can't tell if you find it funny, but these are the things that we're finding out. The other thing is the comments, watching the chat box for these sessions. I looked down today and I see a comment that says, what about the turtle tanks? And it just struck me hilarious because I did not know how to answer that question. I had to ping an expert who knew what turtle tanks were, and we worked through that. I think that the other thing that's interesting is, working from virtual offices and, literally working in our yoga pants or, casually and not having high shoes on and walking 10 miles across a venue. There are all these incredible silver linings, if you will, around virtual events. And it's my nature to be positive and optimistic and just embrace this challenge. And I also, find humor in a lot of things. And I thought maybe as a community, you might appreciate that as well. I'll also share, this is interesting. This was my setup here today. And let me remind you, I'm not the tech person that sits at these desks and make sure we have great technical audiovisual experiences. I hire the pros to do that, but by the nature of these events, we are put in a position to help produce them. And so I'm going to share my screen quickly so you can take a look at this. We had each of our team members at their own space. I'm sharing my screen. I had my laptop, my monitor, my iPad. It was really important to create a virtual green room for the speakers to go in. So as I launched, one session was running, we launched another session, and so that the green room would open and we could do a quick final tech check for all the speakers. One of the things that was really encouraging is we got a lot of comments here in the comment section about people being really glad that we were continuing to meet as an industry and to make this happen for them. So I'm going to stop sharing there. I also want to just say that we told the client that in their opening comments, they should ask for grace and patience as we work through these new events. And again, the comments that we hear overwhelmingly are, thank you for being out front. Thank you for trying this. We understand there could be technical difficulties, but we still want to convene. And so Proper Planning is super proud to be able to continue to do this. I want to thank my team for being ultimate trooper event planners, making this happen. And we still have the incredible high at the end of an event, knowing that we made a difference. But I will also say it's pretty cool to have your strike be a single click and you're done. No 2-hour tear down, no sitting in an airport tired and exhausted after no sleep, but really just click, you're done. And it's something that we're committed to. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of a laugh out of this today. Our team's really wiped, and we just wanted to share Toolkit Tuesday video with you. Hang in there around, these challenging times. Hang in there around trying to produce events in a brand new atmosphere with new tools and new partners and new challenges, but also take some time to appreciate the pleasure that we get to plan events for a living and the funny humor that happens because of the nature of people connecting. So have a great day. Hang in there. We'll talk to you again next week.